LeBron James did not just sign with Philadelphia. He walked into a locker room with a superstar who once questioned whether Bronny James belonged in the NBA. And LeBron publicly brought that comment back up only months ago. Now the two are teammates, and the real story is not whether they can smile for cameras. It is whether old tension can survive championship pressure. The headline says the beef got worse. The evidence tells a more complicated story. Philadelphia has built one of the most fascinating rosters in basketball. Jaylen Brown arrived first, in a blockbuster trade that sent Paul George and 4 draft picks to Boston. Then LeBron chose the Sixers for what could be the final major move of his career. Suddenly, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, Brown, and LeBron were sharing the same championship window. On talent alone, that sounds terrifying for the rest of the Eastern Conference. But talent is not the part people are questioning. The question is what happens when 4 powerful basketball identities have to share one offense, one locker room, and one spotlight, especially when 2 of those players already have public history involving LeBron's son. That history started during the 2024 Summer League. Brown was sitting courtside while Bronny James was trying to establish himself as a professional. A camera appeared to catch Brown saying that he did not think Bronny was a pro. The clip spread immediately because this was not a random fan evaluating a rookie. This was a reigning finals MVP speaking about the son of the most famous active player in basketball. Brown later responded online. He praised the fact that LeBron had reached the point where he could share an NBA floor with his son, said Bronny had the tools around him to succeed, and said he looked forward to watching his growth. That response lowered the temperature, but it did not erase the original clip. Once a moment like that reaches millions of viewers, it becomes part of every future conversation between the people involved. Then came February 2026. After a Lakers-Celtics game, LeBron was directly asked about his relationship with Brown. He called it respectful, but he also mentioned the Bronny comment. He said that, outside of that moment, they had been all right. He repeated that they would be all right and acknowledged Brown's later social media response. That answer mattered for 2 reasons. First, it confirmed that LeBron remembered the comment. He did not pretend it had never happened. As a father, that is understandable. The discussion was not only about basketball evaluation. It involved his son, a young player who had already faced extraordinary attention and pressure before establishing his own NBA identity. But the second part is just as important, and it is the part that gets ignored when the story is reduced to a feud. In the same conversation, LeBron praised Brown's basketball. He argued that Brown deserved more recognition in the MVP discussion and pointed to the responsibility Brown had carried for Boston. Brown answered that praise with respect of his own. He called it an honor to receive that kind of recognition from LeBron and spoke about staying grounded through both praise and criticism. So, was there a real disagreement? Yes. Did LeBron publicly remember it? Absolutely. But the public record also shows professional respect. That is why calling this a simple personal war misses the most interesting part of the story. The tension is real enough to create questions, but the respect is real enough to make this partnership possible. And that brings us to Philadelphia. When LeBron announced his decision, Brown posted the Sixers phrase, "Throw the ball up." Some people immediately treated the short message like a cold or reluctant welcome. But there is a major problem with that interpretation. Brown had already used the phrase as part of his Philadelphia introduction. It was not a coded attack created for LeBron. That does not mean the two are suddenly best friends. It means a forward post cannot prove the relationship became worse. The stronger evidence points in the opposite direction. Brown was one of the Sixers players communicating with LeBron during the recruitment process. ESPN reported that Maxey led the effort, with Embiid and Brown also involved. A player does not have to be personally close to help recruit a teammate, but Brown's participation shows that both sides were at least willing to work toward the same goal. That goal is obvious. Win a championship now. LeBron is entering his 24th NBA season. He is no longer joining a team to control every possession. For 82 games, Philadelphia gives him star power around him, younger legs, shot creation, and a roster that should allow him to choose his moments more carefully. Brown is coming off the best scoring season of his career, averaging 28.7 points while carrying a larger offensive burden in Boston. Maxey is already an explosive lead guard. Embiid remains the centerpiece when healthy. The challenge is not finding enough ability. The challenge is deciding how that ability fits together. Who initiates the offense late in a close game? Does LeBron operate as the primary organizer? Or does Maxey keep control of the pace? How many possessions are built around Embiid? Can Brown remain aggressive without the offense becoming predictable? And when one player has the favorable matchup, will everyone else accept fewer touches without allowing the media to turn a normal basketball adjustment into a personal storyline? That is where this situation could become difficult, even if the Bronny issue never creates another argument. Super teams are rarely tested during introductory press conferences. Everyone says the right things. In July, the real test arrives in January, after a losing streak, when one player has taken fewer shots. For 3 straight games, and every television show is asking whether the locker room is divided. Philadelphia will magnify every moment. This is a franchise that has not won the championship since 1983 and has not reached the conference finals since 2001. Last season ended with another second-round exit. Adding Brown changed the expectation. Adding LeBron removed almost every excuse. This is no longer a roster that can call a competitive playoff run a successful experiment. The Sixers will be judged by whether they can stay healthy, organize the hierarchy, and survive the postseason. When the standard becomes championship or disappointment, small issues feel bigger than they really are. One missed pass becomes a debate. One frustrated expression becomes a viral clip. One answer in a post-game interview becomes evidence for whichever side fans already chose. And because the Bronny comment already exists, every awkward moment between LeBron and Brown will be interpreted through that old story. That is the danger. The media does not need an actual fight to create weeks of content. It only needs uncertainty. But uncertainty is not proof. The most responsible way to watch this partnership is to focus on basketball behavior, not imagine private motives. Do they communicate on defense? Does Brown cut when LeBron has the ball? Does LeBron trust Brown with late-game possessions? Do they support each other publicly after difficult performances? Those details will tell us far more than a facial expression captured in a 3-second clip. There is also a larger twist that makes this story different from a normal forced partnership. Brown was not simply waiting in Philadelphia when LeBron arrived. He was part of the group that helped recruit him. That does not erase what happened in 2024. It does suggest that both players understand the difference between a public disagreement and a professional opportunity. They do not need to agree about every part of the past to recognize what they can accomplish together now. LeBron has spent his career adapting to star teammates. He won with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami, with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love in Cleveland, and with Anthony Davis in Los Angeles. Each partnership required changes in role, rhythm, and control. Brown has spent most of his career operating next to another elite wing in Jason Tatum. Neither player is unfamiliar with sacrifice. The difference is that Philadelphia may ask for more sacrifice from more stars at the same time. LeBron averaged 20.9 points, 7.2 assists, and 6.1 rebounds last season. Those numbers are remarkable at his age, but they also show how his game has evolved. He can still take over stretches, yet the Sixers should not need him to dominate every night. Brown can defend elite wings, attack in transition, and score without every possession beginning with the ball in his hands. In theory, that versatility makes the fit possible. In practice, the coaching staff must create clarity before pressure creates confusion. The best version of this team is not 4 stars taking turns. It is Maxey pushing the pace, Brown attacking tilted defenses, Embiid controlling the interior, and LeBron reading the entire floor. If those roles become connected, the Sixers could be one of the hardest teams in the league to prepare for. The worst version is a slower offense where everyone waits for someone else to make the first move, then forces a difficult shot when the possession breaks down. If that happens, the public conversation will immediately return to chemistry, ego, and the old Bronny story, whether those things are actually responsible or not. That is why the first few months matter so much. Not because LeBron and Brown are guaranteed to clash, but because they will have almost no room to learn quietly. Every national game will become a chemistry test. Every Celtics matchup will become a referendum on Brown's departure. Every question about Bronny will tempt reporters to reopen a conversation the players may prefer to leave in the past. The rivalry angle also creates enormous attention. Brown spent 10 seasons in Boston and helped deliver the 2024 championship. Now he is joining LeBron on one of Boston's oldest rivals. Even without personal tension, that move would be one of the biggest stories in the East. Add the Bronny history, and the matchup becomes impossible to treat like an ordinary regular season game. Still, the most important fact remains simple. There is no verified evidence that the beef became worse after LeBron joined the Sixers. There is evidence of an old disagreement. There is evidence that LeBron remembered it. There is also evidence that he praised Brown, that Brown respected the praise, and that Brown participated in recruiting LeBron to Philadelphia. That is not a clean friendship story, and it is not a confirmed feud. It is a professional relationship with unfinished history and a massive shared objective. The real pressure will not come from what Brown said 2 summers ago. It will come from what happens when the Sixers lose 3 games, when one star is left out of the closing action, or when a playoff series forces the team to decide whose hands control the final possession. If LeBron and Brown respond by trusting each other, the old clip becomes background noise. If they struggle to connect on the floor, that same clip will become the explanation for everything, whether it deserves to be or not. Philadelphia did not just add another superstar. It added a relationship that the entire league will analyze in real time. So, do you think LeBron and Jaylen Brown have genuinely moved past the Bronny situation, or will championship pressure bring the old tension back to the surface?